Hello guys and welcome to another one of my little videos. And this video will be part 2 of my chat with my good friend Troy. So if you haven't seen part 1, you can go check it out right here. And I hope you enjoy. Obviously, as people can see behind you, and this is only a tiny portion of your collection, you're a big Star Wars collector. And I asked you before we did this if we could each do like show our 5 favorite pieces in our
Oh my
collections.
word. Yeah, 5 favorite pieces? That's tough.
Yeah, it is. I
That's
was I was having a hard time, and my collection is really small, and I was having a hard time picking out which which pieces
yeah,
were my favorites. So maybe I could start. Uh,
okay,
so for me, and we can each do one and take turns.
okay.
So for me, one of my favorite pieces in my collection is
In no
this.
particular order?
Uh, yeah, I
That's
don't think I could put them in any order. So one of my
cool, that's
favorite
cool.
pieces is this. It's one of the first first Star Wars collectibles I ever got. It's not the
Yeah,
first, but it was like in the same
that
month
what
of
you
year.
got there is the number 500 figure they did that, what I say they did, Kenner and Hasbro did,
Yeah,
and it's the Vader chamber. That's very cool. I don't have that.
yeah.
That's very nice.
I thought it was really cool. You can
Yeah, it is. Yeah, can his
it
head oh,
lowers the
cool, that's
helmet
cool.
on his head, like in
Yeah,
the movie. It's really cool.
it
Yeah,
is, it is. Is the Vader articulated? Like, does his legs move
yeah.
and his
He's properly like
okay,
yeah
cool. Yeah. Well, it's my turn now.
yeah
And I've got to, well, obviously this helmet here,
yeah. I know you over the years you showed me some pieces you were really proud of. So
but I will say this. I want to make this clear because you talk about favorites.
mm,
And I say that's really tough because there are pieces that I've had as a child that I still
mm,
have today that it might not necessarily be my favorite, but I couldn't let it go. You know what I
mm,
mean? It's like it's just like I'm gonna pull it down for you real quick. I'll
yeah
pull it down.
yeah
This is the original 1979 78 Millennium Falcon. I don't know if you get
yeah.
that.
Oh, but that's
Yeah,
better. That's better.
yeah.
Cool.
So I'm having to really draw back, but this piece here, I've cherished it for the last 42 years or something.
So this
Um,
was actually yours when you were a kid.
this is yeah, this was mine
Yeah.
when I was a kid. I have to give a shout out. He's no longer with us. That was
Mm,
my uncle Danny, my uncle. Um, he got this for me for Christmas, but I didn't get it Christmas Day.
yeah.
Now, as a child, I knew there was no Santa Claus in a sense. Your parents are Santa Claus, so I knew that, and I knew that toys didn't come from elves. You know, they had to go to the stores and get them.
Yeah.
So I made a lot of phone calls. So I mean, I was a kid. I couldn't drive, so I made a lot of phone calls trying to find a store that had this so I can have it for Christmas.
Right.
And I didn't have any luck, no
Mm,
luck at all. And so I started crying. I mean, I was a kid. I mean, this is what I wanted. This was,
yeah.
and
So
you know,
how old
I
were
don't.
you?
The back opens up. It's just complete.
Wow.
I was probably 12, maybe,
Mm,
or 11,
yeah.
probably close to 12.
Yeah.
So so I didn't get it Christmas Day. I didn't get it Christmas Day, and I still have the box to it too. I'm gonna
Mm,
set this down. So I still have the box.
That's cool because I suppose back then it wasn't you had no idea this would one day be a valuable collectible. It was a toy you wanted to play with, I suppose, right?
No, I
So
had no idea.
it's pretty amazing that you kept the box.
Yeah, and not only do I to this day do I have the box, I've since bought it again, sealed in the box, never opened.
Right.
And that's a rarity right there. That's a super rarity.
Yeah.
And see this one came in the Empire Strikes Back badge box or logo box. I wanted the one that had the Star Wars logo, so I got that up there. But it's covered. It's under everything.
Yeah.
Like I've said this before. I've got stuff behind stuff, and in some ways that's kind of by design, because if someone was ever coming here and take something, I wouldn't want them to know where the valuable stuff is.
Yeah.
They'd have to hunt for it, you know. So it's kind of a lot of it's kind of hidden, even though that's valuable right there.
Yeah.
That mask. So my uncle, he put a letter in the stocking, the Christmas stocking, and he saying that later I would get it. I was promised to get it, and so maybe a month or 2 weeks went by, and he came in the house with it. He was holding it in his hand, the box in his hand, and he put it together for me, and I'll never forget as long as I live. When I saw what he had in his hands, I immediately went and washed my hands. I washed my hands. That's how sacred this thing was to me. It's like I had to wash my hands.
Cool.
Yeah. So show me one of yours. Show me another one of yours.
All right.
I'll try to put this back.
So the next one is a very recent acquisition that I showed in one of my recent videos. And it's The Empire Strikes Back on Laserdisc.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I always wanted one of these, and actually, pretty soon, this five favorite pieces will probably be out of date because I have some more goodies like this on the way in the mail.
Oh, that's a special edition version, right?
Yeah, and I have the original on the way, the whole trilogy. Yeah. So I'm gonna be making another video soon, and I've got something else on the way as well. So I've been hunting for this box for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's the one that my uncle had when I was a kid, and I so wanted it, but it disappeared somehow when they got rid of their VHS, and I only got the cassettes but never got the box. So it's this. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, but I remembered I finally got this off of German eBay, but I remembered it was like this box.
Uh-huh.
It had like a slip on thing, but this one's smaller. It's only the films in like.
Yeah. Wait a minute. How many cassettes is that? Is that 4 or 3?
This is
that other one.
This is 4, and this is only 3.
So what's the 4th disc? I mean, what's the 4th cassette?
It's
Classic Creatures.
Yep.
Wow. And you know what? I don't think that's on the Blu-ray. I don't think that's on the official Blu-ray, the saga, the complete saga.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, but it is actually part of the special features for the 4K 83 project. They found a 16mm print of it somewhere. So
wow.
But yeah, and this one's actually still sealed.
Wow.
Yeah, but so what I have, it did have this same like slip-on cover with these pictures, but in this size, obviously. So what I have on the way is the complete box with the cover.
Hmm.
So I'm pretty excited about that because I remember that moment
Yeah.
when I found it in his,
Yeah.
you know, in this little, what you call that? More cabinet is the word I'm looking
Yeah.
for. Yeah, in this little
Yeah.
cabinet under their TV, and I was like, "Whoa, Star Wars!" To me, that
Hmm.
was like a revelation,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
really
Let me see if I can find. There's a lot of stuff, but some of it a lot of it I can't just move.
yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean? I have to.
you're on your phone, right? You can move
Yeah.
around with it.
Okay. I guess I could use this one here. This, this is now I don't know if you remember.
Hmm.
I couldn't, years ago I couldn't show you this stuff. I just had to remember I'd be on my desktop computer.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't actually show you, what was in my room. This is the EFX TIE fighter. This is a prop replica molded from the original TIE fighter. Well, some of the original TIE fighters from Lucasfilm,
Cool.
digitally scanned. Um, I I never knew about this. Let's see, my finger. See that piece right there? Looks like a bat wing or
Uh-huh.
Batman or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I never knew that was on there, but I started, looking at, prop pictures and stuff, and
Yeah.
that was
Cool.
that's one of them. So that's another favorite of mine. Yeah, and that I did. It didn't come with this acrylic case. I bought that separate, but it was made. It was designed. The base is designed for an acrylic cover.
Hmm.
This is not my big 32-inch prop replica Falcon. This is a smaller version
Mm-hmm.
um, that is unbelievably detailed. I mean, it
Right.
just the pictures don't do it justice. When you get in there, and you start looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
So like you know, my collection is mostly like modern action figures and home
Yeah,
video stuff. So most of
yeah.
my most of the stuff that I'm really proud of in my collection is like the home video stuff because I have some rarer bits there. And
Hmm.
this is one of them. This is the
Oh yeah, 8 millimeter.
8
Is it eight
millimeter
millimeter?
Reel 2 of The Empire Strikes Back. So
Hmm.
I was really lucky to actually find this for a pretty decent price. I was recently looking for Reel 1, and
Yeah.
I just couldn't I just couldn't pay that money that
Was
people
it
are
was it
asking for it.
expensive a lot? Was a lot that would be super expensive?
Well, it like you know, not in terms of like $2,800
Oh,
for a model, but very
yeah.
expensive for something that I don't really need. You know, like I have to like so I'd rather I rather bought you know 3 Star Wars laser discs than one reel of 8 millimeters. Like uh, so I had to prioritize. It wasn't
Yeah.
I don't remember. They wanted like probably something like $500 for it or something.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, and what I would love would be some 16 millimeter prints of Star Wars or any of the originals because that's
Yeah.
like 16 millimeter is where it gets like watchable quality for a modern like viewing experience. Like 8 millimeter is really grainy and you can't really project it on a big screen. Uh,
Right.
but 16 millimeter anamorphic would be pretty awesome.
Mm. Do you think there's a lot of prints of Star Wars, the original version, that may still be out there somewhere, 35, 70 millimeter? Do you think there are you think just in private collections and
Well, I think there are some, but most of them have probably already been discovered and scanned by Team Negative One and those guys. You know.
Yeah.
Um, but there are new prints being discovered every day. I think I'm not sure if I can say like if this is public knowledge. So I'm gonna be vague, but they did discover recently some pretty awesome new prints that
Mm.
they're getting scanned. But so
So
the next version of 4K 77 and 83 and 4K 80 is they got a new print scanned for that now as well. That
yeah,
they're gonna be starting the cleanup on.
that's
They're
great.
gonna be even better than the ones that are out now.
I don't have the 4K 77 version
Mm.
yet. I'm hoping maybe I can get it from you at some point
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
don't have it. Yeah. But one thing I don't know if you want to keep this in or not, but I I because of watching the Japanese collection
Mm,
all the time, and I watched it constantly for years
mm,
until I got your version. I was I was like big on the the cropping,
mm,
you know, and I was like, man, when Team Negative One put out their first release of Star Wars, I thought it was amazing. Now there are some color issues in it. I know you agree with that. There's some, but other than like a couple of them, it's
mm,
pretty good in my opinion.
mm.
It's I mean, it's not perfect. I know
Yeah,
that, but it's pretty good.
yeah.
And
This would be the silver screen edition. That was the
I think so. Yeah.
Spanish
It's not
LPP.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's some parts in there that could use some better color correction. But
Mm,
I think with the technology today, it could really be brought more to life.
mm,
And I'm not talking about like spending hours and hours and hours and hours on it. I mean, just a little some tweaking here and there.
mm,
To me, I'm not talking about like see, you got a keen eye when it comes to special effects and resolution because that's what you do,
mm.
you know. But me, it'd be, if it was just a little bit better than what it was, I'd be perfectly happy with it.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping now that you mentioned that they've discovered more prints, I'm hoping, maybe they'll put one out that's it's a little less cropped, I mean, if it's not, if it's cropped,
May,
it's cropped, it's not
maybe
a
because I think the technicolor prints actually were cropped like this. They didn't do
yeah,
any extra cropping. Like
yeah,
and actually like I was just looking at some of the 35 millimeter prints of Empire,
mm,
and the new 4K Blu-ray of Empire is a lot more cropped than the old Blu-ray.
you're talking about the official
The
Blu-rays, right?
official Blu-ray, yeah, the official Blu-ray of Empire, the 4K Blu-ray is a lot more cropped than the old Blu-ray.
Um,
But
yeah.
I have the scan of a print, and it has the same cropping on the sides
Hmm.
as, and the scan has the full picture, including the sprocket holes, everything. Right? There's
Cool.
nothing cropped in the scan. Uh, and it's still it has the same cropping as the 4K Blu-ray, right?
Mm,
So the prints were more cropped than the original negative
yeah.
already out of the
Well,
box.
let me say this though. It's amazing how sometimes there are things you never forget in life.
Hmm,
Like just little detail stuff. And I remember watching Star Wars. I only saw it like 4 or 5 times in the theater,
hmm.
and I'll never forget looking at the picture on the screen. Never forget. And I would say to myself, why is that? Why is there more picture below the screen?
Ah,
You know, I would say to myself, there's more picture below the screen. But see, now again, that may have nothing to do with cropping or the I wonder now, was I watching at the time, was I watching a 70 millimeter print? I wonder. I don't know. I'll never know. I'll never know. I
yeah.
just wonder. But um it could have just been a simple fact that maybe the camera running the film could have been just a bit further back or closer. It could have been the position of the camera. So it really doesn't mean anything
Yeah.
other than the possibility that I could have watched a 70mm print, but I'll never know because
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
no,
No, it's very,
you know,
very likely they just didn't have the masking done right. Like that's the
yeah,
thing I wanted to say also. Like, uh, sure, the 4K 77 is more cropped, but this is still less cropped than what you would have seen in the theater back then, because they
hmm
were cropping in a little bit on all sides when they were projecting the.
yeah.
Because there's always a
So
little bit of like uneven edge on the edge of the film, so they would always crop it a little bit when projecting.
yeah. So you're think in your opinion they're going to continue on. I mean, Team Negative is going to continue on, trying to um, polish Star Wars in a sense, I guess.
Yeah,
Keep
probably,
make
like
keep
adding
trying to
new
make it
sources
better.
and, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's fantastic. I'm loving that because I feel like that George Lucas not putting out the original versions of the film is just a crime. It's a cinematic crime.
yeah.
And I will say this: I have nothing but love and respect for George Lucas. I'm not hating on him at all.
Hmm.
I've never been. I've loved the prequels. They came. I enjoyed them. They went. Fine. But I've never hated on George Lucas. The only thing I ever wished was he would give us back,
Yeah.
the original versions
Yeah.
of the film.
Yeah.
Keep your special edition. In fact, honestly, I wish he would have. Well, I wish Disney would actually release the original special edition.
Hmm.
That by itself would be cool.
That's actually something that Team Negative One is working on as well, as far as I know.
Oh yeah,
Restoring prints of the
because I
97
enjoyed
special
the
edition.
special. I enjoyed this special edition for what it was. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
a lot of people didn't like Greedo first, and I get it. But it's one of those blink and you miss it.
Hmm.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
over before you get. It's over before you can even think about it.
Yeah. To me, yeah, we actually, I think we talked about this recently, right? And yeah, to me the Greedo shoot first uh thing is a big problem in the special edition, but there are way bigger problems than that.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, whose turn is it for the next
I'll go. I'll
yeah, I
go.
think it's your turn.
Okay. All right. This is a recent acquisition I've just recently got, and I'm going to talk a bit about this helmet and this one here.
Hmm. Ah, cool.
Boba Fett. Yeah. Really love this. If you look carefully, I don't know that you can tell,
Hmm.
but if you look carefully, you can see that this really doesn't match up. I don't know if the word I'm looking for is symmetrically, or I don't know what the word is,
Yeah, it's not
like flush.
symmetrical. Yeah.
Yeah, it is off a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Now I'm gonna put this back now, and I want to tell you about it.
Right.
So, just give me just a second there. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the thing about this helmet and the Boba Fett is the fact that they have lineage to it. It comes from the original mold
Right.
of the original helmet. This is from A New Hope.
Yeah.
This is what they call the Legends edition. And basically it has all the imperfections in it that the original helmet has.
Yeah.
If you look carefully at Star Wars, when Vader's on the Tantive 4, the Carillion Corvette, or it's got many names.
Hmm.
But if you look carefully when he's talking to Princess Leia and it shows a close up, you see he's got a little knot right there on his neck,
Yeah.
almost like a pimple, if you would. Um, Funny, but anyway, that's on this mask. It
Right.
comes straight. It comes straight from that mold.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the same thing with the Boba Fett helmet. It comes from the original prop used
Yeah.
for Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And that's what's so great. That's what's so great about these two right here. And that's one reason why they're expensive like they are, because they have that history. That's one of the that is, you know, going back to George Lucas, again, he did things that I guess most filmmakers don't do. Is he saved a lot of the stuff. I'm not saying he didn't save everything, because I don't think he really had that foreknowledge, to save everything, but he did manage to keep a lot of it.
Mm.
And some of it disappeared, some of it went into collectors' hands, some of it was actually given away, but he did keep a lot of it. And he not only did he keep it, a lot of the people that made it kept the molds to it, and that's how they were able to produce the
Yeah.
legends and the
That's
Fett
really
helmet. Yeah. So it's my whole point that I'm trying to make is it's not some helmet some company just put together, like Hasbro or Black Series. That comes from the original mold from A New Hope. You can't get any better than that.
Yeah. That's really awesome. Like I have a Darth Vader helmet. It's like the cheapest one you can buy. But I still love having it.
I
But
mean, that's great, man. Hey, you know what? Like the toy company, they've put out helmets very similar to this,
hmm,
and the Boba Fett, and the Boba Fett helmet that Hasbro has put out, known as the Black Series.
hmm,
It's pretty damn accurate. It's pretty cool,
yeah,
but it doesn't come from the original mold.
yeah, of course.
But but putting them together, looking at them together,
Yeah,
I don't have that version, but I would say that it's I ain't gonna say it's just as good, but it's good,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's good what you have. Back what you have back in the day when kids were kids, they would kill to have that.
yeah, yeah,
Kill to have.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it's it's my turn again, and
Yeah.
this one I can't show right now, but I will cut to it in the final version of the video.
Okay.
And the reason I can't show it is that it's permanently stuck on a wall back there with double-sided tape.
Okay.
And it's a photo of Darth Vader and Boba Fett signed by Dave Prowse and Jeremy Bullock.
I mean, but it's a fantastic piece,
Yeah.
and in my opinion, that's gonna over time. It's valuable now. It's definitely valuable now, but I definitely believe that over time it will continue to go up.
Yeah, that's a piece that I'm really proud of.
I mean, I've seen it. You showed it to me, and I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. In fact, I kind of want one for myself, and I probably will eventually get one, but in due time.
All right, your turn.
Now, before I say this, I want to say that picking five things is kind of tough. Like
Yeah, yeah.
as far as favorites go, because I have one of my favorite pieces is the Obi-Wan Master Replica lightsaber,
Mm.
old Obi-Wan, which I think is brilliant. But here's something I got about a year ago, and an original
Wow.
1977 trading card by Topps, and that's autographed by Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Wow.
That's his signature. I I'm part of a Star Wars autograph universe group, and Andy Luck was participating in that, and I sent this card out, and it's authenticated by Beckett. It's got a serial number, and so that's one. I'm trying to get the glare off.
Mm.
So he signed it there on the side.
Yeah.
So that's one that I sent out. Ah, I thought I had the other one on my hand, but it's a different one.
Oh.
This ain't the one I was going to show you, but that's autographed by Doug Chang.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know you said 5. I'm showing a few more than 5.
That's all right.
But here's another. Here now. Let me touch on this a little bit. One of the things I'm just going to touch on it. One of the things I did not like about the 2 sequel movies the sequel trilogy movies I did see, with the exception of one, I thought the designs of the ships and all that were horrible. Other than Ray's speeder, everything else is just a different take on the same ship. Like Kylo Ren's shuttle coming down, it's just black without a wing on it. It just everything was somewhat the same. TIE fighters look like TIE fighters. X-wings look like X-wings.
Yeah.
I thought that was just, it should have been different. You're talking 30 plus years into the future.
Yeah.
It should have been a little different.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about the prequels, regardless of story, was it did have some cool designs. And this is my favorite.
Ah,
And that is autographed by Doug Chang right there.
cool.
I love that Naboo starfighter.
Yeah, yeah, those they definitely did have some really cool designs and sets and all that.
Yeah. Now, I'm not talking about blue screen where I'm talking about like
Yeah.
the models were pretty cool. The
Yeah.
models were pretty cool.
Yeah.
Here's a James Earl Jones.
Hmm.
I'm actually going to put this in with a helmet
Hmm.
because I got a Dave Prowse I got coming, index card. So I'm going to have the James Earl Jones card autograph in there with the Dave Prowse. And that plaque is actually autographed by the guy who made the molds for the Vader helmet, Brian Murr. So it'll be a triple autograph Vader helmet. Two more, and I'm done. 2 more, and I'm done. This was something that you could do around 1999. Was the Star Wars Insider? You could actually mail out something to get autographed by a lot of the stars, and it wasn't guaranteed you're going to get anything back, but they did forward the stuff to the stars, and I did get this back. To Troy,
Awesome.
Anthony Daniels.
Really cool.
I sent a bunch of cards. He only sent me one back and didn't send the rest of my cards. But you know what? I'm fine with that because the one he did sign was the best one. And the last one I wanted to show you that I meant to show you originally, that I thought I grabbed, was this other Harrison Ford autographed, this vintage card. This would turn out pretty nice.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it's Beckett witnessed. They witnessed it, him signing it, authenticated.
Cool.
Andy Luck. Thank you, Andy.
This is probably my favorite piece in my collection. And I showed this in 2 videos already, so I'm not gonna get too much into it. But it's the Superclass ISD Executors set.
Yeah.
And it's a VHS set, and in my opinion, the best ever release of Star Wars on home video.
Mm-hmm.
And the US didn't get it, so that's
Now, I want to tell you one of my favorite sets that I don't have. That's the Despecialized box set. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I was actually that was like, you know, how we talked about how difficult it was to decide on just 5 things, and that one was one of those that I definitely considered. You mean the one that Ron made for me? The
yeah,
the
one you got your own trading card.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I actually, and I will be showing this. I actually have that trading card in the same frame with the autograph picture I was talking about
Oh
earlier.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, that's one of my favorite sets there. Now I've only watched the video once or twice, but it was really, now I've not seen it in person, but the quality level and all the bonus content,
Yeah.
not referring to the disc, but just the bonus content,
Yeah.
the packaging content was amazing. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
exactly how I would love to see Star Wars done.
Yeah, absolutely. I will link to the video about it here probably.
That's great. Yeah. This right here,
Yeah. Wow.
that's the vintage toy, came out in 1980. This is a certain collectors, not, I say collectors, that comes with a survival kit. A lot of them didn't, and they come with a $1 rebate offer. This is AFA graded 80, never been opened, never been played with. It's in a case. And the story, one of the, I'm gonna turn it back to me and I'll tell you the story real quick.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I had gotten a Millennium Falcon, like I had told earlier, had gotten a Millennium Falcon. And I was very thankful and grateful to this very day. I still am very grateful and thankful. And I never wanted to like push my luck trying to get something bigger or something as good. And so the AT-AT came out and it was on the back of all the figures, like the figures would be in the package and it'd be on the back. And I'm like, oh man, I would love to have that. And I was like, I thought, I mean, back then it was $23. And back then that was a lot of money back then. So I didn't want to push my luck with it. I didn't say nothing. So one Christmas, I get up and there it is. It's sitting right there, the AT-AT. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even ask for it. I was like
Oh,
blown away. And so it always became a favorite piece of mine. And and just so you know, I just want to point this out. To this day, I still have it.
yeah.
This is the original one I had as a kid.
That that must have been an awesome toy back then. Like,
It
as
was.
you
It
know,
was.
I as a kid, I had no Star Wars toys at all. We didn't have there just weren't any Star Wars toys. So I would
Yeah.
probably have crapped myself in some if somebody gave me that for Christmas.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty amazing. It was. Trust me, I was floored. I was
Yeah.
floored.
Yeah, it's awesome that though all those were like uh to scale to the action figures. Like
Yeah.
with the Falcon, you showed you could like open it up and actually play with the action figures inside it.
Hmm.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. So going back to your story, you so Star Wars had come and gone for the most part when you were around.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, for the original releases of the films in theaters, were there toys in your area, in your
No,
in your part of the world?
they never did any merchandising here. Like, I mean, there were maybe in some specialized shops in Prague you could probably buy some, but they
Mhm.
weren't like widely available. Like in my town, you just couldn't get any at all until the prequels. Like for the prequels, they started releasing some toys, but only prequel toys. Like you still couldn't get like the original trilogy characters or anything. So I actually
So
got my first. Uh, actually, no, my first, and I'm really kind of sad that I don't have that anymore. But my first Star Wars figure was this Darth Vader figure that was a bootleg figure. It wasn't official. And we bought it on some market somewhere, like outside. Some guy was just selling these bootleg figures, and it was like this big rubber sort of yeah.
have you ever tried looking for that again in recent years?
Yeah, no.
No.
I'm not sure how rare they were like back then. But yeah, that
Well,
that I remember I had as a kid, and then when we moved house, it probably got thrown out or something.
yeah.
But I destroyed it thoroughly anyway, playing with it. So it
Well, I
wasn't
will
any.
say this: bootlegs are a big deal in the U.S.
Yeah,
The U.S. collectors love foreign bootleg, and they
yeah,
are like expensive, high
yeah,
dollar figures.
yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of crazy for a non-licensed product, you know,
Mm.
to be that to be that collectible. But they're out there, and
Yeah,
they
I guess
are.
they're rarer. So yeah, but my first like official action figure was I bought it when I was 16 when I visited England.
Hmm.
So I already back then I wasn't gonna play with it. I was just gonna put it on my shelf.
So what figure was that?
It was a New Hope Luke Skywalker.
Farm Boy?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
he even came with a moisture evaporator.
Oh.
Yeah.
So let's go back. Let's go back to when you first saw Star Wars in the
Mm.
theater. It was what? All right. Did you see the original? I mean, I know you didn't see the original in theaters. Did you see the '97 version in theaters?
Well, actually, I didn't see the original in theater. I saw it on TV.
Hmm.
They had like that when they first showed it on TV. I was like 5 probably. So I saw it on
Yeah.
TV, and then I did not see the special editions in theaters. I saw them when they came out later on VHS.
Hmm.
As to this day, I'm regretting not making my parents letting me see the special editions in theaters, because that would have been an amazing experience.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. That's
and it's interesting. Like in '97, I saw Titanic and I saw Jurassic Park 2, but I didn't see Star Wars.
yeah. In '97.
Hmm.
That was '97.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah. The special edition premiered in January 31st, 1997.
yeah. But actually, I was just remembering I was talking to a friend who's the same age as me, and we were talking about Titanic, and at the time I was actually more obsessed with Titanic than with Star Wars. Star Wars came later when I saw the special editions on VHS,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Oh, by the way, do you see a bit of Star Trek
yeah,
sneaking in here?
yeah, I noticed.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
noticed that? Um, Mirror Universe Spock.
yeah.
So I do have a question I want to ask you, and I don't know if I've ever asked you this
Is that
question
Ray
before.
above him?
Hell no, you're not gonna find Ray. No, that's Kirk. That's a. There was a 2-pack set. It was a 2-pack.
Oh, it looked like Ray from this far.
You really think I'm gonna have a Ray in my collection?
Yeah, I
Really?
was I was surprised.
No way. And you'll never find any of that in my collection ever.
Do you have any prequel stuff?
Oh yeah, I got loads of prequel stuff.
Right.
Like I said, well, I say I got loads, but I got prequel stuff, and
Hmm.
I do. Again, I want to say I do like the prequels. I do appreciate the prequels. Could they have been better executed? Yeah, they could have been, but I love them for what they are,
Hmm.
and I'm happy that they're I mean, I'm glad Lucas made them. Really, prequel stuff. Well, I do have prequel stuff, but a couple of years back, I made the intent. I got one I'm going to show you real quick.
Hmm.
But I say about 10 years ago, I said, look, I'm going to focus on original trilogy, expanded universe, and I'll still keep my prequel stuff, but I ain't going to go crazy
Yeah.
over prequel stuff, because back then, and even to this day, if a person wanted to start a Star Wars collection, they can just go to the stores and buy everything, and all of a sudden, you got a collection, you
Yeah.
know. But I wanted to make my collection. I wanted to make it three things, three main areas of collecting would be prop replicas like the Vader helmet, vintage toys that I grew up on, packaged, and autographs. So,
Yeah.
So prequel toys is not, even though I got some of that, it's not the
Yeah,
main focus.
I suppose, but at the time they were already like spewing them out in millions, right? So they're probably not that rare.
Oh yeah, they definitely made a ton of prequel toys. But thanks to the sequel trilogy, the prequels are really more appreciated now than ever before.
Yeah, and actually, I think sequel trilogy toys are going at some point they're gonna be rarer uh than the prequel toys, because they didn't, I at least it, to me it seems like they didn't make that many of them, like
no, actually that's a
because
good point.
nobody's buying them, so that's why they
Nobody's buying
survive.
them. No,
Yeah.
nobody wants them. No,
Yeah.
I mean, look, let me tell you, this is the truth. This is the truth. What I'm about to tell you. This is 2021. The Force Awakens was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
If I wanted to today, I can go around the Montgomery area where I live and some towns outside of that, and I could, to this day, put together some Force Awaken figures, like almost a set,
Yeah.
without any work, because nobody's buying it. It's still sitting there in some places.
Yeah.
It's still
It's the
sitting
same
there.
here, actually. You can't get any like
Discounted by the way, it's discounted.
Yeah.
Nobody. I'll tell you this. This is the truth. Now, when I want to make one thing clear, as a fan of Star Wars, they say, and I don't know if I really believe it, like this social media attacks on some of the actors and stuff, like the girl that played Rose Tico.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's as a fan, I don't blame no actors. It's not their fault.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
Like,
doing
terrible.
a job.
Yeah.
They're doing a job. If I was cast in that movie, I'd be doing a job. So it's not their fault. I'm pretty sure, and in fact, I know for a fact that John Boyega, who played Finn in the sequel trilogy, did not like the way his character was done. Now, like I said, I've not seen Rise of Skywalker. I can't comment on. I can't give an opinion. I've never seen it. Never will.
Yep.
But when I saw Force Awakens, I didn't dislike Finn. I didn't dislike him, but I thought, where is he going to go from here? Like, where can he go? Let's see what they do in the next two movies with his character.
Yeah.
Well, in The Last Jedi, he was pretty pointless.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. That's not an attack against the actor.
Yeah.
He's even said it himself, that he didn't like the direction they took his character. In my opinion, like we've talked about how the prequels could have been better. Like if they would have, in the movies, would have kept Maul alive and continue on fighting. Honestly, I think he should have died in Force Awakens than Han Solo, because they didn't do nothing with him.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna ramble on about all that. See, you don't open a can of worms. So anyway, my point is, before I show you this this prequel piece, it's funny sometimes when you buy something, you're like, okay, it's nice and all that, blah blah blah, no big, put it away. But as time goes by, it actually becomes a favorite piece of yours. And this is a prequel piece I really like. This is Chewbacca's crossbow in Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
Now I don't know where. Let me see if I can look at this. If I can show where it's at. I ain't got a lot of light in here. But the bow itself, the bow part is actually right there. It's at the bottom.
Right. Yeah,
So
you have to
you have
attach
to
it when it, yeah.
you have to yeah, you have to attach it.
Yeah.
But this is a piece. I mean, when I bought it, I thought nothing of it. I just bought it and put it
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
But today, I mean, I love this thing. I just think it's fantastic.
Mm.
And it's a damn Nerf gun. That's what it is.
Right.
It's nothing. It's a
Yeah.
Nerf gun. It's a Star Wars Nerf gun. See, you've got the.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a Nerf gun. But anyway, that's one of my favorite prequel pieces that I have.
All right.
All right,
Well,
man.
okay. Uh, Thank you for doing this, and
Okay, man. My pleasure, man. My pleasure.
yeah, and I'll talk to you soon. Well, I hope you enjoyed part 2, and if you want to support this channel, you can do so by becoming a patron or donating directly to my PayPal. I really appreciate all the help. Thank you guys very much. Also, don't forget to subscribe and check out some of my other videos. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and may the Schwartz be with you.